a lot of these meetings, but supervision of county officials. The Board of Supervisors may supervise the official conduct of county officers and require them faithfully to discharge their duties. But the board cannot add to those duties or relieve the officers from these obligations. The board may not direct or control the day-to-day operations of a county department or otherwise limit the exercise of discretion vested by law in a particular officer. I'll skip the part about the district attorney and I'll go right to the sheriff's department. The Board of Supervisors may supervise the sheriff to the extent that the sheriff acts as a county officer and may investigate the officer's performance of county duties. However, in enforcing state law, the sheriff is acting as a peace officer of the state and is under the direct supervision of the Attorney General. In addition to being an officer of the county, the sheriff is also an officer of the court. While acting in that capacity, the sheriff is not under the supervision of the board, and the board may not investigate the sheriff in connection with such duties. The rest is about the assessor. As I said, I don't attend a lot of these meetings, but Mr. Briggs, I think what you did today was reprehensible. I'm in your district.
Good.
Not for me.
All right, we'll move.
Your arrogance
Oh,
was without question.
I'm tired of taking this from you guys.
Oh, you're tired of it.
Okay, let's stop now.
We've done
Let's stop.
nothing to the sheriff.
Ron, please.
By the
Supervisor
way,
Ron.
Came in and we've done nothing but support him.
somebody asked me
We've given him his
my
undersheriff, we've given
telephone
him his
number.
budget.
Okay.
My telephone
We've done
number
nothing to the
is
sheriff.
642-2030.
Okay. This meeting will not continue if we continue to have dialogue. The speaker will speak, and the supervisors will listen, and when the speaker's done, the speaker will sit down.
I understand that that's the Brown Act. You've interrupted the sheriff. You've interrupted me. You better brush up on your rules. There's a lot of people here
Sir,
that are listening to you, and hopefully the press is here.
sir, address to the board, please. The entire board.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
It all applies what I said to the entire board.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Chairman Nutting, board members, I'm Kathy Nerwinski. I just wanted to take a couple minutes of your time to come out in support of the budget, which hopefully you will approve. I know that you all work hard to make sure everything's balanced in all departments. I know that Supervisor Knight understands the various parts of the Sheriff's Department, that he knows that a resident deputy will work well in Georgetown and Mount Auckham perhaps, but not up at South Lake Tahoe. Just like I know Supervisor Santiago has done her research. She knows that there is a big difference between an investigator with the DA's office and an investigator with the Sheriff's Department. Just two minor things I'd like to bring up when you think about this, passing this budget. We have a county that we border, that's Sacramento County. Within Sacramento County, we have the city of Sacramento, which has approximately 500,000 people now. The city of Sacramento has the second highest violent crime rate in the state, only next to what city? Oakland. We are on the Highway 50 corridor. Those people come up and down through our county all the time. We need to have safety, public safety for everyone, including everyone on the Board of Supervisors and all of your constituents. My other point is this: parolees that are released into the county. Back in 2007, we had approximately 354 parolees that were released into the county. That was one parolee per approximately 500 residents. In 2009, because those are the latest stats that we have, we had 474 parolees released into the county, which brings it to 1 to every 382 residents. So take that into mind when you're thinking about passing this budget. I think it's very important that you do so, that you look at the sheriff's department, make sure that there's no cuts in your officers on the street, and they all have to be supervised, and the sheriff needs that undersheriff, just like Supervisor Briggs needs Brenda Bailey. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. Next.
Judy Mathis, Placerville. As a resident of District 4, I'm totally aghast at the inappropriate behavior of the supervisor who obviously does not know the difference between showing backbone and leadership and arrogance. He needs to listen to his own turned-on microphone. Additionally, I want to say that we, the people, elected our sheriff as one of the best candidates to lead us, and that he and his staff are doing exactly that. Our sheriff has done what he promised, and he will be our last line of defense when all else fails in our nation, for us and for our county. And you need to know that everything that he promised, I have seen happening. I have been told that he has his officers that stop. Even a group of Girl Scouts wanted to be filmed or take a picture next to a patrol car. How many times has that occurred previously with our sheriffs? They are doing everything they can to bring the community back together. And I want you to please pay close attention to what his needs are for his staff. Thank you.
Okay, next. Anyone wishing to address the Board of Supervisors may do so.
My name is Richard Barb. I'm a resident of El Dorado County. It's interesting, my connection with the political workings of this county has been growing over the years. It really started coming public when our sheriff was running for sheriff. And what concerned me was not that I knew him. It was that my experience with our deputy sheriffs had been a very difficult experience. I haven't had any problems. I was never arrested. I had no legal issues. But many of my friends are deputies, and every time I'd meet them, it was a very austere, distant, difficult encounter. The ice had to be broken time and again with people that I'd known for years. And I finally told one of the deputies, I'm tired of it. I do not like what I encounter every time I see you. And so I'm not going to put up with it anymore. And so we had conversations, and he started learning. But I told him one of the reasons I'm going to vote for this sheriff is because I believe this sheriff has the interest of the people to bring a department back to a sensitivity and a connection with the people. I believe he's done that in many ways, and I believe there's a lot to go in that department. One of the reasons that I voted for him and supported him was there was a regime that had settled in. Some of them are my friends, and I appreciate them. But it had settled into being unresponsive to the people's needs. And during the times when our county has flourished, you can use the term flush with cash, it's very easy to program and build and grow, and that's what we've done. And now we face the turnaround, the lack of foresight perhaps, but I think more it's just a reality. We all got caught with something that we weren't expecting. The struggle that you folks face is all of us are looking at you for the direction to get us out of this problem. This morning's discussion to me was a perfect example again of why we are not dealing with our problems the way we need to. Mr. Sweeney brought up some excellent points. I appreciated the perspective he tried to put forward 3 times, that we cannot keep paying what we have in surplus for something that we can't project for the future and hope that it's going to cover. We have to be more responsible. And the same is with our sheriff. We have a sheriff that was elected by the entire county. We have a board that were individually elected by 1/5 of the county. You folks need to understand that there is a change happening in this county, and if you do not become part of it, you'll get swept away like some of the old sheriff's regime. You don't need me to preach at you because you're smarter than me. I think most of you are. But I want you to understand something. There's a change coming. And we want, just like our sheriff has done, to give everyone in this county the opportunity to grow in this county. There's a bigger picture that goes beyond us. It comes from our federal government. It comes from the state mandates. All of these things that we have no control over, but we can fight against if we join together. And you folks are the heart of that right now. You have the control and the ability to really stand together, unite, and pull this county together. And if the conduct that we've seen a little bit ago with our sheriff is the way we're going, I can promise you there's a groundswell that's coming that you won't like it. I want to be a part of making that difference for the future. I want to see each of you be a part of that. You're already here. You have the resources and the ability to do this. But if you don't see what's changing right in front of you, you'll just get pushed aside. So, thank you.
Thank you, Richard. Next speaker. Okay, last chance. Anyone else wishing to speak? Okay, bring it back to the board. We have a motion and a second.
For the record, could you please reread the motion?
The motion is to set the budget for the Sheriff's Department at 50 million. I don't have the exact figure here.
50 million?
Okay. Okay. So we have a motion and a second. Do we want to hear from the sheriff's staff, or
Unless they don't like the motion.
is there any comments you guys like to make?
Call for the question.
Is there any comments you'd like to make, Under Sheriff?
Calling for the questions to high
I'd like to
staff.
just make one comment. I'm kind of the new kid on the block at the sheriff's office, but I'd like the board to know and the public to know that the staff at the sheriff's office are outstanding people. They're hardworking. They're working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to keep this county safe. And what I've learned was not a surprise to me. They're working very hard, and